LeBron James is as fantastic as ever every time he steps on the court. He recently explained his transformation and how he's now stopped relying on his athleticism and instead found a way to remain effective without it. That being said, the Lakers are looking better, but do they present the best chance for LeBron to win another ring? Let's find out and revisit his best moments in Cleveland. Starting with, could LeBron return to Cleveland? During last year's All-Star Weekend, LeBron said the 6 words which are the dream of every rumor mill. He was asked about a potential return to Cleveland, and the King said the door's not closed on that. Now, he went on to clarify that it wasn't a hint related only to playing for the Cavaliers and could be in some other capacity. But that hasn't stopped the fans in Cleveland from dreaming about a LeBron return. And after he signed an extension which should keep him in LA at least until the end of the 2023-24 season, along with a player option for a year beyond that, means a move might not be imminent. But could it still happen? LeBron mentioned how he didn't when he's free, but he could be at the end of next year's campaign. Would he like to move to Cleveland if he gets the chance then? Well, the way things are at the moment, it would be absurd to rule this possibility out. LeBron's well into the twilight of his career, and even if he isn't showing his age in terms of his output, the end is definitely in sight, if not near, which means that the King is chasing another ring to cement his GOAT status. And with the future of the Lakers looking bleak, could a third stint with the Cavs happen? He loves living in LA. Who doesn't, right? But he's a native of Northeast Ohio and would love to be, one day, owner of an NBA franchise. Maybe a takeover is in the cards? Or a potential retirement as a Cavalier? Moving on, what would it take to bring LeBron back to Cleveland? Well, if we look past the specifics of what LeBron said on that All-Star weekend, we can take a look at some of the conditions which might facilitate a move for LeBron to Cleveland. The first of those possibilities would be, as we mentioned, James's hunger for another ring. The Cavaliers, with the Donovan Mitchell trade, have one of the best rosters in the entire league. But the biggest attraction of that roster is the fact that they don't necessarily need to win now with that roster. They'll be good for years to come as long as they can keep the young core around, and with the likes of Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, and others adding experience to their CV in the next couple of seasons, they might just be in the perfect position to deliver a title if LeBron was to return. Not to mention, this Cleveland side lacks a small forward. The other possibility is the fact that the Cavs own one first-round pick in the next 7 drafts, and it's in the 2024 NBA draft. LeBron has revealed his dream of sharing the NBA floor with his son, Bronny, before retiring. And if the Cavs were to use their pick on Bronny, LeBron would be nailed on for joining Cleveland for the 3rd time. Of course, it would mean that Bronny's progress remains the same, and he's still an attractive option when he becomes draft eligible. Adding to that, how would LeBron fit on the Cavaliers? This has to be the biggest question, with the Cavs going all in by acquiring Mitchell in that blockbuster trade with Utah. They have a new leader in that 26-year-old. He's the face of the franchise, with young guns like Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen making up a fantastic young starting team. They're basically more or less set at point guard, shooting guard, power forward, and center. All this team is lacking, or needing an upgrade on, is the small forward position. Plus, it would be welcome if that small forward is a 4-time NBA champion and can help this young side in so many more ways. He might not fit the Cavs' developmental timeline, but you generally tend to make exceptions when it comes to the greatest players of all time. And LeBron's definitely the greatest player to play for the Cavaliers, and he definitely doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. And if we're being honest, a starting unit made up of Garland, Mitchell, James, Mobley, Allen is an instant title contender, if not a title favorite. Not to mention the massive influence LeBron would bring to this young core in the dressing room and the practice courts. Plus, there shouldn't be many concerns about LeBron's ball dominance. He's been more than happy to take a step back, with AD running the show in LA. And when you add a couple of more years to his age, he'll definitely be willing to do the same for the Cavs too. Now, let's take a look at LeBron's greatest moments as a Cav. It's only fair to reminisce about golden LeBron moments in Cleveland, right? Join us as we take a look at all of those great moments. First up, LeBron becomes the #1 overall pick. Of course, we have to start with the 2003 NBA draft, don't we? Few prospects have been as hyped as LeBron was before he entered the draft in 2003, and the Cavaliers were lucky enough to snap him as the first overall pick. And the rest is history. After that, LeBron wins Rookie of the Year. LeBron almost immediately repaid the faith shown by the Cavs front office by scoring the most points of any prep-to-pro player on his debut against the Sacramento Kings with 25 points. He averaged 20.9 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 5.9 assists in his rookie campaign, and would go on to become the first Cav to win the Rookie of the Year award. Instant hit. The team would still miss out on the playoffs despite an 18-game winning swing compared to the season before. Then, the 56-point display. LeBron was showing no signs of slowing down in his second year in the NBA. George Karl, the Denver Nuggets coach, told Sports Illustrated how it was weird talking about a 20-year-old kid being a great player, but he's the exception to every rule. That became apparent when the Cavs met the Raptors on the 20th of March 2005 and dropped a 56-point performance. It instantly became Cleveland's new single-game record. Up next, LeBron's first All-Star game. Due to his insane performances to start the 2004-2005 season, LeBron was pretty much nailed on to becoming an All-Star. He did so and contributed with 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists in a winning effort for the Eastern Conference, and that was his true rise to stardom. Basically, only in his second season, LeBron was a superstar across the league, followed by All-Star MVP and postseason run. In the 2006 season, LeBron started from where he'd left off, and this time he was a man on a mission. The Cavs hadn't made it to the playoffs for 8 years, and James wanted to do everything in his power to bring a postseason run to Cleveland. But before he did that, LeBron led the East to another victory in the All-Star Game of 2006 with 29 points, becoming the All-Star Game's MVP. And, of course, he delivered a postseason run too, with a triple-double in his postseason debut. In fact, many believe he was unlikely to end runner-up to Steve Nash in the NBA MVP voting. Also, the Game 5 of the 2007 Eastern Conference Finals, a 48-point performance coupled with 9 rebounds and 7 assists, which included LeBron scoring 29 of the final 30 points scored by Cavaliers. LeBron exploded in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Detroit Pistons. It was voted as one of the best moments in modern NBA playoff history, as LeBron led the Cavs to their first ever Eastern Conference championship. On to the MVP seasons. Given his sensational performances, LeBron already won the NBA scoring title for the 2007-2008 campaign before becoming the Cavaliers' all-time scoring lead as well. But that wasn't enough, was it? LeBron also officially became the first MVP in Cleveland's history, and did so after the 2008-2009 campaign. In fact, he was on such a mad run those days that the King actually won back-to-back honors, but couldn't guide the Cavaliers to a title. Coming in next, the return to Cleveland. After making the move to Miami, LeBron added 2 rings to his career, and they were the only missing thing from his collection. He also won the Finals MVP on 2 occasions before making a blockbuster return to Cleveland. It was one of the best stories in the NBA. Lastly, LeBron LeBron wins Cleveland a championship in an epic comeback. Of course, the best moment that LeBron ever experienced in Cleveland was the 2015-2016 season. LeBron and that Cavs side were 3-1 down against the greatest Warrior side ever assembled, and thanks to LeBron's Finals MVP-level performance, he orchestrated the greatest comeback in NBA history, ending Cleveland's long wait for a championship. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think LeBron James should make the switch back to Cleveland? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.